Body, I might roll up in the tank, cause my chain came from Cuba. Got a lock up on the link, and the red bottom loafers just to compliment the mink.
I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music, the best kept secret in music reviews. Today, we are ready to review A$AP Rocky's Long.Live.A AP. Tom, what do you know about A$AP Rocky?
You know, not too much actually. He's an up-and-coming hip-hop artist. He's been doing lots of collaborations with people, kind of building his name that way, doing some production, and I actually think he's a pretty good rapper.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Start with the actual rap of it, right? I actually think that the bits in this album where it's just him rapping, I think that his wordplay, his lyricism, while I don't always love the lyrics, I think the way that he blends them, makes them flow is pretty good. I think he's got a good rhythm to him. So that's kind of the start for me. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I was also impressed the first time the first few listens I listened to Long.Live.A AP. The first things that I thought of was, wow, this production in the beat, in the construction of the beats is actually kind of impressive. Kind of reminds me of like some old school Drake from a few years back, you know. But he's using a lot of very atmospheric textures, big, thick beats, and you know, some nice kind of more kind of melody-esque synths in there that kind of just give this nice balance to the sound, so that you know, A$AP Rocky can come in and lay down his rap on top of it, and then have all the other guest artists that he have, which there's quite a few on this album, especially in the middle track.
And I actually think that the guest spots are some of the best parts of this album. I think most of them are pretty strong.
Yeah, that Dr. Dre syndrome for sure, where some of the guest spots outshine some of even the, you know, this title artist.
Especially on One Train, where he just has like, it's like he just got all his friends together and stuck a mic in the room, you know, and like Yellow Wolf and Danny Brown and Kendrick Lamar's, all their bits are top notch, I think. Now there is one thing that bothers me about this album, and that is the that was a little more accurate. You know, it's just, he does that all throughout this album. It's something that people are doing more and more in hip hop, is developing these little vocal nuances
and they just interrupt the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I think it's very disruptive. I don't think it adds any quality, honestly. I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, every rapper's got it. Jay-Z's got his and Kanye's got his and A$AP Rocky's got his it's just
Tyler the Creator does this too.
Yeah, true.
And I just don't understand where it comes from. You know, that's outside of my knowledge, and if people like it, that's all that matters.
Well, that's the thing. I don't hear people talking about it. Please tell me, does that really enhance the listen for you? Because it actually really brings it down for me. Really? I find it to be obnoxious.
See, then the song LVL, which, you know, I know that we were just playing that, and that song takes it to a new extreme. Right? There's one point in that where
it's like 30 seconds straight where that's the only vocals you hear.
And really the beats and production are kind of just in this transition period, so nothing happens except that. And it's like, what is the point? And I mean, it has to just be to be funny, and I find it to be funny. So if that's the goal, they're accomplishing the goal.
Yeah, it's like a nonsensical telephone conversation. Yeah, that bit of the song is what it sounds like. Like I can't stand it. I really can't. Right. Stepping aside from that is a major complaint. It actually did really disrupt the listen for me. I followed kind of a weird path with this album, because at first I liked it, and then I really didn't like it, and then I came back up on it a little bit. And here's the reason why. At first, as Jake said, I really got into the production, got into the sound. I appreciated A$AP Rocky's just skill as a rapper. Right. But then once I started picking apart the lyrics, I started to get frustrated with it. And lyrics are a big part of rap music. That's where a lot of the focus is. And the reason that it brought it down for me is because you have all this atmosphere, kind of dark, kind of introspective. He's obviously not going for club bangers, which I really appreciate. Yeah. Anytime a hip-hop artist doesn't go for the club hits, I tip my hat to him. I just love that.
Yeah, there's really only one song in here where it features Skrillex.
Yeah, that's a little dancier, but I actually like that song pretty well.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, well, okay. Geez, sorry. But the thing that frustrated me is once I really dove into the lyrics, even the songs that seem like they're trying to be way more introspective and stuff, he's mostly just singing about, well, it's summed up in track 3, pussy, money, and weed. And to me, it's like when you have songs called hell and pain. And I'm like at the beginning of Pain, when first he starts with a good awe, but then, you know, you think he's going to sing about pain, and he's still just singing about having sex with chicks and smoking and doing all that. I'm like, are you going to actually sing about pain? And then you get to effing Problems, which effing Problems, I'm like, oh, you know, maybe he'll really do some soul searching here. No. His effing problem is that he loves bad bitches. This is some Freudian shit right here. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really get to. He's still in the shallow end of the swimming pool as far as I'm concerned with that one. I mean, if you're actually going to sing about effing problems, and the way he's presenting it makes it even worse because it sounds so serious. Like, this is a serious problem, guys. I love bad bitches. What am I going to do about it? I don't buy it. I think it's kind of corny. It doesn't do anything for me. Now, I was able to get past it a little bit, mostly because there's just those tracks in the middle that are really the biggest offenders of that. But beyond that, there actually was quite a bit about this album that I really did like.
Yeah, there are some really good aspects of this album, and just like a few key things that I think bring it down from being like an upper 70s or like around the 80 point of mark that's like really good, and I feel like it's hard to achieve because we expect a certain quality level, you know, across the board to make it into the 80s. So 70s is a good score for us. So I mean, what we strive to do when we set out to listen to these albums, and actually the set of 9 albums we're doing right now has a lot of really hard albums to score, because
it's true.
Like albums like Long.Live.A AP have a lot of really good qualities and just a handful of qualities, but they're severe enough that they bring the album down.
And how do you prioritize?
Right, and I totally agree with you, and just the mismatch in the message that he's sending with the lyrics, and then also, you know, just within the production styles, you know, while I like the production throughout, it's not very consistent, nor is this album driven by a concept or have any sort of, you know,
central idea.
Yes, and so the tracks just feel like a bunch of tracks that A$AP Rocky recorded and just shoved them onto an album. And I think that he actually has a lot of talent, so if he just picked one sound and really set his scope to be something larger than just, you know, debut hip-hop album that just featured a lot of his friends and other artists in the industries that are going to help carry his sales, I figure like he could probably make a really good album.
Yeah, and it is frustrating because there's so many good aspects of this album. I was just thinking about the closing track. Suddenly it has this kind of trip hop, like soul vibe, and then you bring in the kind of upright bass sound, kind of reminiscent of like A Tribe Called Quest, which I love that group. Like you put all that together and so many good qualities, and then just those few things that I'm like, ah. And you know, the thing with the immature kind of lyrical themes, I really think it is mostly about how it's presented and how it works with the whole album, because I mean, Dr. Dre and Snoop get way more immature than that, but with that big celebratory G-Funk production sound, it works.
They make it raunchy, they don't hide behind it, and they're pretty consistent about how they approach it. So, I mean, it makes sense. We're here, everything kind of contradicts. You don't get a lot of consistency throughout in sound. You get good moments and moments of sheer brilliance, but there's just a few factors that really bring it down and knock this one into the 60s for me. Tom, I think I'm going to go 66 on this one.
66? Yeah, I think I actually am going to go an even 70. Just for the fact that there are a lot of tracks I really liked on this album, but it's just, I don't feel like it deserves better.
You know, and there's definitely some tracks here on this album that I'm going to be listening to for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Just solid hip-hop songs that I think were very well produced and performed. So there's definitely some highlights in this album. There's just enough qualities here to bring it down that, you know, you can't give it the, oh, attaboy, nice job, A$AP Rocky. I'm just not quite there. Yeah, you can't give it
attaboy. That's as good as we can get.
What did you guys think of Long.Live.A AP? Let us know at www.velocitiesandmusic or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. As always, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and let us know what you want us to review from 2013. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.
Back once again, chillin' in the back of the lack with a pass her again. Finna ask and I pass to a friend. Get a nigga smash, I'll be damned if I ask her again. Go slabs on the lack when I spin.